Now, if you haven't got the dates of this music festival in your diaries, then you should have. This is the Ham Farm Festival taking place at the end of July, the 28th, 29th and 30th of July. This is one of those festivals that we're getting regular now, which is absolutely amazing. And it's good to have local music festivals like this, so please support amazing music. I caught up with Emily Correa-Andrews, one of the organisers of the event. Emily catches up with me each year to talk about this amazing festival. And here is Emily Correa-Andrews talking to myself about the Ham Farm Festival.
Well, I have a great pleasure in being joined once again by Emily Correa-Andrews. Emily, how are you doing?
I'm really good, thank you. How are you, Steve?
Well, apart from a gammy leg, I'm not too bad, thank you. But I've got issues with my knee, so, not being able to get out and about very much. But if that's all I've got to moan about at this ripe old age, I can't really complain. However, Ham Farm Festival, it's that time of the year coming up. Is this the third or the fourth year for the festival now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the third year. It started just as COVID was kind of a thing, and we were trying to get music happening again and people coming to music events. And so we set up this music festival in our garden in Emerson's Green. People didn't have to go inside at all, and it was all very sort of outdoorsy and COVID friendly. And we realized that this is just something we want to continue even now. That seems a long time ago. We've grown. We have, a big kind of social media presence now. We're funded by Emerson's Green Town Council, South Gloss Council. And just this year, we're excited to say that we've become a charity, a proper registered charity. Oh. So it's no longer me and my husband, Francisco, running something small from our back garden. It's now a team of 5 people running it and properly sort of council funded this big music festival that we have now. Third year.
So that must take the pressure off a little bit, or not?
Well, there's a lot of paperwork involved, but that's far too boring to go into on the radio. The first year that we did it, we started from zero. Nobody knew what Ham Farm Festival was. We had a Facebook page with 0 followers and a Twitter account with 0 followers, And now we have an established mailing list. People have been to it before. Word of mouth is getting out. And occasionally people say, oh, you live in Emerson's Green. Oh, that's interesting. I heard about that recently. Don't you have a good music festival there? And I say, yes, Ham Farm Festival. So, people are starting to have heard of it, which is wonderful.
And it must be progressing and evolving year on year.
Yeah, so there are some kind of changes which are a result of what we've learned from the previous years, but also audience feedback, things people would like to see. And we take that really seriously because after all, this is something that we're doing to provide music for people in the community. So there's no point if you're not providing the music that people want and listening to the feedback. So some changes. When we first started, we wanted to do a mixture of kind of community music with professional music, and we'd put concerts kind of all jumbled up together so that people hopefully would come and stay across a few things. They'd come for the professional concert but hear the choir first, or vice versa. And we realized that that wasn't really happening as much as we had hoped, that each different kind of music had its own kind of audience who just came for that one and then left. And so, we've been thinking, how can we get people to hear, especially different genres? We very much would like people to come for a classical and a folk concert, try something slightly different. Everything that we put on is top quality because me and Francisco are both professional musicians. We are very careful about always putting on people that we admire hugely and that we know will be really top quality. So it's about trusting the festival and trusting us and saying if it's on at Ham Farm Festival, it will be amazing. So this year we are doing double bill evening concerts, but both professional, top level professional. And so you pay for the whole evening for a ticket. You can come anytime from 5, bring in your picnics, your drinks. There is a bar open for the first time this year. And at 5:30 till 6:30, there's one concert. Then there's an hour's interval in which there'll be food for sale as well, or you can still bring your own. And then at 7:30, there's the other concert starting, which goes until 9:30. That's kind of the headline act. And so it's one ticket. So we're very much hoping people will plan to spend the whole evening and really kind of get into the spirit of it and stay, outdoors, enjoying the beautiful space and enjoying the music and perhaps hear something they might not have heard otherwise.
Absolutely amazing, Emily. I know you're going to tell us about some of the acts in the moment, some of the musicians that are going to be performing. And we do have 3 or 4 little snippets to titillate the taste buds of our listeners. But I want to know, there was a huge concert you performed last year. Was it Misa Criolla in the church? That was a big choir, wasn't it? A big concert, I suppose, really. How did that go?
Oh, that was fantastic. I think the best thing to do, if you're interested in that, is to go onto YouTube and look for Misa Criolla, so MISA, and then Criolla, CRIOLLA, Ham Farm Festival. And you can watch the entire thing in order. It was fabulous, really fantastic.
Any nerves before the event? Because that was quite a big concert, wasn't it?
I sang the solo in that. So, so I had a big part to do. I don't know. Last year feels a long time ago. It was, there was a lot of effort that went into that concert, and it was kind of a closing event of Ham Farm Festival. It was a real kind of finale.
Mm-hmm.
And it was also celebrating the 800 years of the local church. So it was really kind of a collaboration in every possible sense, around the community. But I think we just did a fantastic job, and it was such a joy to do. I mean, it took a lot of funding because we had to train the choir beforehand. You can't just turn up and do it in the way that professional musicians do. So, we'd like to look at other possible ways of doing similar projects to that in the future with professional band and perhaps local musicians training in advance to put on a big event at Ham Farm Festival. Sure. But there's nothing quite like that this year. There is a choir that you can come and sing in St. James's Church, and it's free, but that's a 2-hour pop-up choir. And that's happening on Saturday, the 29th of July at 1:00. And that's just 2 hours. You can turn up, you're going to learn some pieces in different parts, and then you're going to sing them with the professional musicians. And just within the 2 hours, not for a concert, just for the joy of it. So that's kind of a little potted version of what we did.
The festival this year, I believe, is the 28th, 29th and 30th of July.
That's it.
I'm going to let you tell me what's happening.
Okay, so I'm going to spread out my description of the evenings a bit so that we can put in a couple of sound bites for people to listen to. So the first evening, I'll go back to the daytimes. The first evening is classical and folk music. So the first concert, 5:30, is classical harpist Lauren Scott. She plays such a fantastic program it's a mixture of pieces that she's composed herself, of arrangements of pieces by John Lennon and people that you'll know, and of classical harp music. And she plays a lever harp, which is slightly different from the pedal harp, which you're used to seeing. I just think that's going to be so beautiful. The harp in the garden, in the space, amongst the apple trees. I really can imagine this harp music being such a special start to our professional events at the festival. So let's listen to a little bit of Lauren Scott.
Emily, I
Okay.
absolutely love listening to harp music. That was absolutely terrific. Terrific. Thank you.
Well, that's great. So we're hoping after listening to Lauren Scott's beautiful harp music, people will head to the bar, get themselves a nice drink, and then go and buy some paella because we've got Paella Caluciano coming with his stall. He'll have vegetarian paella and chicken paella for sale for under £10. And so people can buy food there in the interval or bring their own.
Is there
And
a
then,
vegan? Is there a vegan option? I know you said
yes, the
vegetarian.
vegan option. Sorry, that is vegan.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
okay.
vegan or chicken. Yeah.
Excellent.
And thank you for clarifying.
Are you
And
catching
then,
the chickens yourself during the course of the day?
no, definitely not. So then, once people have had some food, had some drinks, I think we'll even have some ice creams for sale at the bar if people want pudding. Then they'll head back into the marquee, which I haven't mentioned yet. We've got a marquee for the first time this year, and we've sort of flattened a bit of the garden to put it on. Yeah, so people will head back into the marquee for the second concert, which is Filkin's Drift. They're actually sort of more Gloucestershire based, but they're a folk duo whose main instruments are guitar and violin. They also both sing, and sometimes an accordion appears. I don't know if they'll bring that to Ham Farm Festival. That's always a surprise when it comes out. And they have quite a local following. They played recently at St George's as part of a folk night. They have played at Downend, Folk and Roots. And we were blown away when we went to see them, just absolutely by their skill, their tightness, like their joy in their music making. It's just top quality music making. So let's listen to just a little clip of what they do as well now.
Okay, let's indeed. Good mix of music so far, Emily.
Yeah, that's just the first night, the classical and folk. Just to tell you a little bit about what's happening in the daytime on the Friday. So we're putting more kind of community events, community music and free events in the daytime for people to just drop in, a bit less formal. And the first event is South Gloss Rock and Pop School. So these are under 18 musicians who've formed bands and worked on them all year, coming to perform just for half an hour for us as part of their summer tour. So they're performing in various different places. And that's a drop-in concert. You don't need tickets or anything. It's 1:30 till 2 o'clock on Friday, the 28th of July. And you can just turn up. You can bring any food that you want. The bar will be open. And it's very, very informal. So we're hoping lots of families and local people will pop by and have a listen to this young talent playing then. And then that finishes at 2 o'clock. And at 2:30, we have a conscious rhythm workshop with the Bullerenge Circle. Bullerenge, they say. It's Afro-Colombian music, chanting and dancing. There'll be traditional costumes. There'll be drumming. It's really something new that I'm looking forward to trying. And I'm hoping that lots of people would like to get involved. It's free again. And so you might like to come to the Pop and Rock School and then stick around for a minute and then do the Bullerenge workshop. That is free, but you need to sign up on the website. So that's the Friday. Then the Saturday, again, I'll start with the evening. The Saturday evening, starting at 5:30, the concerts, we have the Club de Choro Bristol, which is the only repeat act. This is the Brazilian music, which is actually performed every year at our festival and has become a bit of a sort of signature event. It's always really, really popular. In fact, that's the one that has sold out every year. We always get to our maximum numbers on that one. It's just really great feel-good music, and you can kind of chat a little bit while it's happening. It's not so formal. So that's kind of world music type. And then we've got empanadas for sale, which is sticking with the South American theme. These are sort of like pasties. They do them in Colombia, in Venezuela, Yeah. And these will be made by Latino Street Bites, but actually we'll be selling them. They're going to drop them off earlier because they're also doing WOMAD at the same
Ah,
time.
okay.
So they're going to drop them off and we'll be selling them, but we didn't make them, don't worry. And again, there'll be vegan options, which is sweet potato and bean or something, and there'll be a meat one in the interval. And then after Club de Tro Bristol, we have our first Bristolian headliner for Ham Farm Festival. This is Lady Nade and her band are coming to perform for us. And she has the most mesmerizing voice. She writes her own songs. She's a singer-songwriter in a kind of folk Americana style. She's won loads of awards. She's always appearing on BBC Bristol. And she does solo acts, but we've actually got her band coming to support her as well. So there'll be 4 of them on the stage. We are really excited about this. And I think we should listen to her to hear this voice.
I can't wait.
Was it fate that brought us here? I'll miss you, ooh dear. Was it love that brought us near? I'll miss you, ooh dear. But it's so, complicated. But it's so complicated.
Amazing, absolutely amazing stuff.
Her voice is like cream.
I mean, the quality of the acts is unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah. We've really gone for top quality as always, but we wholly endorse everyone who's playing. So in the daytime on the Saturday, we've skipped sort of to the evening, but in the daytime we have one really special concert, which is Rosanna Terberg at 11 o'clock until midday. She's doing a concert called Supercharged Flutes. She's very hard to pin down and to put in a box. She's a flautist who studied with me at the Royal Academy, actually, but doesn't stick only to classical. She does a lot of solo performing. She uses loop pedals and things to create soundscapes. She involves the audience. She's very charismatic stage presence and very engaging with all different ages. This isn't a sort of kids concert, but I think kids will very much enjoy it. And she plays all different kinds of flutes. So she'll have quenas, whistles, piccolos, flutes, like sort of funny long things that you've never seen before that make a noise like a bathroom drain pipe. And she loops them all on top of each other. So we created a bit of a collage of her playing, which you can see on YouTube if you just look up Rosanna Terberg, or on our website, there's a link to it. And you can see all the different things. And she'll mix that up with a kind of Bach trio, for 3 flutes. So just expect the unexpected is how we're selling that concert. And we've managed to get it very heavily funded. So it's only £5 for adults and free for everybody under 18. But this concert could have been an evening concert, but we just wanted to put something really properly professional, top level, but in the daytime, so that people could come who perhaps live further away or had smaller kids. But that concert will be unmissable. And then afterwards, I've already told you about the Sing workshop, which is at 1 o'clock on the Saturday. That's being run by Anya Schretter, who conducted the Misa last year and trained the choirs. She's a friend of the festival and often agrees to do the crazy things we ask her to do.
I recognise the name from somewhere. There we go.
Yeah, so the Sing workshop is a chance again to get involved, without spending any money or anything. You can just come. Families are welcome, children are welcome, as long as they're old enough to enjoy 2 hours of learning to sing something.
Okay.
So that's, up to the parents to decide if their kids will enjoy that. And then on the Sunday, I'll start in the morning this time, so we can finish with a soundbite. So we're starting with a autism-friendly workshop concert. Workshop concert because it will have optional interaction, and it's being run by a brass player and community musician called Ellen O'Brien, who I met in Oxford. Actually, we were doing some community music together, and she is brilliant. She's trained in doing community music events. She's really experienced with special education needs, and she's running this concert for us as a result of feedback that we had from last year, that it'd be really nice to have something especially prepared for autistic people. and also non-judgmental. Like there's no rules for how to listen to this concert. If you want to be running around while you listen, that's okay. If you want to, stand far away or be really close, if you want to get involved or not get involved, it's very non-judgmental, safe space to come to this concert. You don't need to be autistic to come. Everybody's welcome. It's free. And we are getting quite close to our maximum number. We don't want there to be 100 people there because that can be a bit overwhelming. Mm-hmm. And so you do need to sign up on our website again. And there'll be preparatory materials, things like a social story to read beforehand, a video of where the concert will take place, and a video of Ellen introducing herself. So you know what to expect in the concert. So that's really special. It's the first time we've done that. It's proving really popular already. And then you can stick around for an hour. The bar will be open. And then at 1:00, we've got Bristol Eastern Kingswood Brass Band, who call themselves Beak. And they're coming to just play for us at a picnic concert. Again, that's drop in, no sign up, just turn up and enjoy the music for a while. And then in the evening, 5:30 till 9:30 again, our double bill starts with Lucas Saboya, who's coming all the way from Colombia. He's a Naxos recorded classical guitarist and composer. And actually, Francisco and I perform his music quite a lot. When we're performing together, we often play pieces by Lucas. It's really special that he's agreed to come here and perform for us his pieces and other pieces from the land of 1,000 rhythms, which is Colombia, for us at our festival. And it's Lucas Saboya and friends. And so me and Francisco will be appearing in that concert as well. We count as friends. Mm-hmm. So there'll be some flute, some guitar duos, that would be really, really nice and special and different. And then we've got West Coast Pizza selling wood-fired pizzas from his van at the festival. And we finish with Miss Kiddy and the Cads. That's the closing event of the festival. This is the second half of the evening double bill on the Sunday. And this is, how to best describe this? This is a 1920s glamorous Hollywood glamour jazz cabaret show where, with a tap dancer, 6-piece band and tap dancer, where they're all glamorously dressed with the gloves and the glittery outfits and the tap dancing and the 20s hair. And there's piano and bass and drums. Oh, and I think there's trumpet as well. So, and they perform beautifully, but they rewrite songs that we would all know, from David Bowie to Beyonce, in styles of 20s Hollywood jazz. So you feel like you know the song, but it's like a really fresh take on it. Sure. And it's very kind of cabaret style, acted out, very involving for everybody who watches, and they sing beautifully. So let's listen to a clip of them.
1, 2.
Let's dance. Put on your red shoes and dance the blues. Let's dance to the song they're playing on the radio. Let's sway while color lights up your face. Let's sway through the crowd to an empty space.
Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing, Emily. And that's the last performance of the festival.
That's it. So I'm not performing in that one at all in any way. I will be there with my drink in my hand, or one in each hand probably by that point, and I will just be enjoying the party.
So a fantastic selection of music from all over the world, a fantastic selection of food as well from various parts of the world. We hope the weather's going to be good, not necessarily scorching hot, but certainly dry. That's the main thing, dry weather.
Actually, it doesn't matter too much. For the first time this year, we've got this marquee, which the festival's invested in. Okay. And so we can always stay under the marquee just with the sides open and get we won't be moving to the village hall, and neither will we be getting wet. Okay. We'll just do everything under the marquee if it's raining. So I don't think it matters this year if it rains. Okay. And if it's scorching hot, then there is no better place to be than Ham Farm, because we have all these apple trees creating shade. It's breezy there. Our garden is always many degrees cooler than everywhere else. So this is the place to be if it's hot.
Excellent. Emily, I'm sure, please, there is social media, but first of all, your website, if people want to find out more, and they will, where can they go, please?
So www.hamfarmfestival.com. And on the website, there's an event calendar where you can see everything in order, or you can click on individual evenings and individual events for the daytimes and read more about them. And from the website, there's a ticket link, which actually takes you to Head First Bristol. We're using a Bristol ticket company this time. So they're all on Head First as well. And there are sign up forms on our website for, well, both for our mailing list, which would be great if you want to sign up for that, but also for the events, which are just sign up that are free. You can sign up on our website.
So hamfarmfestival.com. Any other social media platforms?
Yep, Ham Farm Festival at Facebook.
Yep.
Twitter is Ham Farm Fest. Instagram is Ham Farm Fest.
Simple as that. Emily Correa Andrews, we wish you well for this event, the Ham Farm Festival in 2023. It's been amazing talking to you, finding out about these fantastic acts and performances. The snippets that you've sent, absolutely amazing. Emily, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Steve.
Now, I'm just going to run down those pieces of music and the musicians and the titles. The first piece you heard was by Lauren Scott. That piece was called Blue Moon Rising. The second piece was by Filkins Drift. The track was called On the Shoulders of Giants. The third track was Lady Nade, which was called Complicated. And the fourth track, Miss Kitty and the Cats, that was called Let's Dance. That's the Ham Farm Music Festival, 28th, 29th and the 30th of July.